Hello, Joana Colucci here with your 5-minute Farm Doc Daily about the different soybean harvest expectations in South America, which account for about 55% of the global soybean supply. While Brazil is on the verge of breaking a record in production, Argentina will have its worst harvest in over 2 decades. Before we continue, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe for more. In general, South American soybean production is still expected to exceed the previous year, but to a lesser extent than initially thought. Projections put the combined 2022-2023 output in Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay at 6.8 billion bushels, up 6% from the last crop season. The South American soybean harvest would have been higher if it weren't for the strong influence of La Niña. La Niña events favor increased rain across northern Brazil and decreased rain in the extremely south of Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. Let's see more about each country in detail. Brazil, the world's largest producer and exporter of soybeans, is forecast to produce a record 5.6 billion bushels this season, a 21% increase compared to the last crop. The Brazilian soybean harvest is underway and it's expected to supply the global market over the next few months. About 75% of the soybean area was harvested by April 1st, compared with 81% a year ago. Constant rains in the center-west and northeast states, which are expected in a La Niña year, caused the delay in the harvest. While there is plenty of rain in most soybean-producing states, there has been a lack of rain in Brazil's southernmost state, Rio Grande do Sul. The state suffered a severe drought for the second year in a row. Rio Grande do Sul accounts for about 15% of the soybean production in Brazil. Despite the losses in the extreme south, yield gains in the center-west and northeast offset them. The situation in Argentina, the third largest global producer of soybeans, is completely different. Argentina is expected to harvest around 900 million bushels in the current crop season, 40% lower than the previous harvest. In the last 2 decades, soybean production in Argentina has averaged about 1.6 billion bushels, with a maximum of 2.2 billion bushels in the 2015 harvest. The expected production in the upcoming harvest would be the lowest in more than 20 years. Since crop planting, the soybean production projections have decreased monthly. With a third La Niña year in a row, the Argentinian Central Pampa is going through extraordinarily bad weather conditions. Precipitation is at historical minimums, there was early frost in February and heat waves at the end of February and March. Harvest just started there, and the production estimates are 44% below the initial projections for the growing season. In the last 20 years, only the extremely drought in 2008-2009 were soybean yields lower than projected amount for the current season. In Uruguay, the soybean crop season has been very bad too. Soybean production there is expected to be just a third of last year's because of the effects of the extremely drought. Production is forecast to be 37 million bushels, down 63% from the last crop season. We have just seen that the effects of La Niña this season were more concentrated in southern South America, affecting the extremely south of Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. Paraguay, the globe's fourth largest soybean exporter, was spared this season. Paraguay is expected to produce around 360 million bushels, more than double the output of the last crop season. This estimate represents a recovery from the previous cycle when Paraguay's soybean harvest fell almost 60%. Paraguay exports more than half of the soybean it produces, and its economy depends heavily on those exports. So, in general, South American soybean production is expected to exceed the previous year's level, but to a lesser extent than initially thought because of effects from La Niña. You can read more about that in an article written by me, Silvina Cabrini, Gary Schnitke, and Nick Poulsen. A link is in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and if you like more videos like this, make sure to subscribe for more. See ya next time!